Oh my gosh, guys, we are talking about it in this episode. We are talking about these crazy and bizarre situations that happened during the week. Oh my gosh, what you mean a doctor stuck his penis where? Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh, how about the McDonald's baby mama chick? What? It was fake? It was all a lie? Girl, we get into it and more. Stay tuned.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Miss Marcie.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Miss Marcie. I am Miss Marcie. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. Hope to see you back. And to my continued listeners and supporters, thank you so much for your continued support. And to all of you, you could be listening to any podcast, but you choose to listen to this one. So for that, I do appreciate you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. We got so much to talk about today. Oh my gosh. It's been a great, productive day. I mean, before I get into that, let's get into this reflection. Y'all know how I like to do. All right, here we go. We are born in one day, we die in one day, and we can fall in love in one day. Anything can happen in just one day. I know that's right. That is so true. That is so true. You know how it's amazing how life can change drastically in just one day. It can go from bad to good or from good to bad. You know, you could go out here and play the lottery one day. You could be just an average regular person, and then you go out here and play the lottery and hit that mug, you know what I mean, hit for the mega million or whatever they got going on now, the biggest one. You know, you could do that, and or you can go out here and you can be rich one day, and then one day you make the wrong decision, and y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, a lot can happen in just one day. Okay. So, all right, let's get into some things. So, yeah, like I was saying, I had a very productive day from the beginning to the end. So, I woke up this morning. My neighbor was knocking on my door this morning. She's such a sweet lady. Miss Alfreda is her name. She's so sweet. She is so sweet. She's like in her 70s. So, she's like a very seasoned woman. But she came and she was knocking on my door this morning. And she wanted me to come and help her. She had bought some covers, little covers for her furniture. You know how, I ain't trying to be funny, but you know how seasoned people, they like to put, covers on their furniture. Like my grandmother, she used to have plastic on hers. Oh my gosh, we used to hate that. Woo, we used to hate that. But anyway, so she had bought these cloth covers for her furniture. She wanted me to come help her put it on, and so I got dressed real quick and went over there and stuff, because I had literally just rolled out of bed. So I wanted to get myself together real quick, and then I went over there and helped her out and stuff, and she was so sweet. And so we got the covers on and everything, and she tried to offer me a little money just to help for helping her out. And I was like, Miss Alfreda's, I don't want that. You keep that. I don't want that. No, and so but she was so determined to have me walk away with something, so she offered me some orange sodas that she had. She said, do you like orange soda? I got 2 orange sodas and the 2 cans of orange sodas. You can have that. I was like, okay, if you insist, I'll take the sodas. Then she loaded me up with some gospel CDs. She was like, do you like gospel CDs? I said, yeah, of course. Oh yeah. She said, well, hold on, I got some gospel CDs I want to give away, because she said she had too many. She had too many gospel CDs, and she pulled out a whole thing of them, a lot of them, and she said, just go through them and get whatever you want, and share them with your mom and share them with your dad too, and everything. So it was just she was so sweet. She's such a sweet lady. So I went through the CDs and stuff, and I got a whole lot of them. Now I know nowadays, CDs aren't really a big thing, but I still have a CD player actually. Excuse me, y'all. Sitting up here eating some watermelon. Okay, I've been tearing up watermelon all summer. Watermelon, pineapples, peaches, and some strawberries. I've been tearing them up. Those have been my favorite fruits all summer. Anyway, so I got the CDs and stuff. Now, My car doesn't have a CD player because nowadays they're not making the newer cars with CD players. So, but like I said, I do have a CD player. So I still like kind of play music and stuff, and plus you can play CDs through your DVD player too. So the CDs are going to go to use, okay? And I was just glad to get a lot of gospel CDs because, I can pull up gospel music anytime on whatever streaming, but it wasn't a bad idea to have them. I remember I used to buy those Wow gospel CDs. I used to love those. But yeah, so then I helped her out. Then I, came home, came back, started doing my work or whatever. Then I did my workout and, all that good stuff. And so, it was just cool. But yeah, she's such a sweet woman. Like I said, she's, we've been neighbors for a long time. Really, good neighbors and stuff. And she told me, she said, you go ahead and take these CDs because like I said, she's in her 70s. And she said, I don't need all these CDs. She said, I got more time behind me than I got in front of me. So you still young. So I was thinking to myself, like, now, Miss Alfreda, you don't think you're going nowhere now. Cause she's a very, she's a very healthy woman, very, just very with it and just still, she can still drive, walk, everything. You know what I mean? She's still sharp, So I don't know, but maybe she was just saying that because, that she's in her 70s and she's probably like, So, but yeah, so yeah, what else? So yeah, I just been making sure I've just been being productive all day. And so now I'm just in relax mode. I also, had a few meetings today that I had to, do pertaining to real estate, and then had a couple of meetings with some buyers and just like I said, just all productive stuff. I just actually was just in here texting with one of my lenders. He had text me. And so just good production, So anyway, now I'm just chilling out, I done took care of everything and I'm chilling out, and then lit my little sage and then, went all over the house and stuff. And I got my little candle. Not my candle, but my incense. I got this incense that I got from the hair store actually, and it's like cinnamon. I'm gonna tell you something. Don't sleep on the hair store. Hair stores be having some of the best, smell goods and stuff. Well, I go to a lot. I go to Bath and Body Works. I go to like different places, but the hair store's incense don't be bad at all. I use incense, candles, everything. I got my little tea light candle from. Remember when Bath and Body Works used to have the little tea light where you pour the little droplets of the smell in there, and it would be so freaking potent. Oh my gosh. And they discontinued it, and I hate that they did that. But it was like all these little different smells, all these little different fragrances or whatever. And I'm talking about, they were the bomb. You could smell those things before somebody even came to your door. You just put the little tea light down there and the little oils on top of the little saucer and light it or whatever. And I'm talking about it. Ooh, I loved it. But anyway, so I still have the actual tea light part or whatever. And I use the oils from the oil bar here from the Eastland Mall. I like to burn that Donna Karan. I love me some Donna Karan, child. So, I just get the oil from the oil bar or whatever, and I just still pour it in there. And I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. But I'm not using that tonight. Tonight, I'm actually using an incense. It's a cinnamon smelling incense, and it smells really good, okay? So, yeah. So, that's what I'm doing. So, anyway, honey, let's talk about some things. So y'all remember last time I was telling y'all that I had saw the first episode of P Valley, whatever. So well, honey, I done got caught up and woo-wee, child. Oh my gosh. Okay, so man, I'm gonna say this season of P Valley, it's very deep. Now the first season was very entertaining and it was just, it was fun. Me and my girls would be sitting here watching it. We have our wine and our chicken wings and shit, and we be turning, and I'll be in here turning up, like we be sitting here watching it, and just, I ain't gonna lie, cause I was feeling the little murders his music or whatever. So we be sitting here, but it was so entertaining. And we got a peek into the lives of the characters we got a peek into their backstory, just a peek. Okay, but this season, the writers took a deeper dive into the backstories, and it was mainly of the backstories of the people that we really wanted to know the backstories of, like Keyshawn for one, but mainly her. That's Mississippi. She bad on them polls too. I think she better than Mercedes, for real. For Mercedes is good, but honey, Keyshawn bad girl. Mississippi, M.I. cricket letter, honey. But so we got a deeper dive into her life as to why she's with Derek, who abuses her. She has 2 kids with Derek or whatever, and it basically showed us how her life was kind of like a Cinderella story, pretty much. She had the stepmom. Her dad was married to this light-skinned woman, and the colorism also was a part in there too. They incorporated that into it. So her mama dark skinned and Keyshawn was dark skinned. And then so her father basically cheated on her mom with this light skinned woman, ended up marrying the light skinned woman. They had she had 2 light skinned daughters who were beautiful as well. Mississippi is beautiful, you know what I'm saying? So, but she was dark. And back then in them days, and I remember in the 80s or whatever, growing up, and when dark skin wasn't a big thing, it was considered just to be dark. Now I'm not a dark girl. I'm like in between, brown or whatever. I'm caramel, whatever you want to call it. I wonder if I would have passed the brown paper bag test during slavery. I don't know. I don't know if I would have been in the house or outside. I don't know. But I don't know where the hell they would have had me at. But so she has these light skinned girls or whatever, these light skinned daughters or whatever. And they mistreat, the stepmom mistreats Mississippi because she's dark, and she's not basically, she's not her child. She just doesn't like her. She's she's her husband's daughter from a previous marriage or whatever. Well, like I said, she goes on to mistreat her and has her basically doing things around the house, doing her daughter's hair and stuff, and they get recognized and they're going to school functions and stuff, and they just get all the attention. They're light skinned, they're pretty. She's a stepchild. She's a dark stepchild. And then they even show where even at school, she's getting kind of teased for her complexion by other black boys, And so then here comes Derek, Mr. White in shining armor, and he basically takes an interest in her and treats her very well, and things like that. And and because she's receiving so much rejection at home, excuse me, she's receiving rejection at home and even at school from the other kids because of her dark skin. Here comes Derek, and it's like, oh, he made her feel special. He made her feel like a princess. And so she took a liking to him, and he came from a family where he had an abusive ass father. And his mother damn sure wasn't down for him dating no black backwoods girl, black Negro from the backwoods, okay? But he defied his family anyway for her, and started to date her, and they, ended up getting pregnant and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I remember them days when it was like, light skin was the thing, and all of that come from slavery. Y'all know that come from slavery. When the masters had, like I said, the light skin in the house and the dark skin out in the field and the cotton, and working and sweating like, just sweating, looking just had them on some other stuff, while the light skin was in the house getting privileges. Hell, getting fucked by master. Well, hell, they always getting fucked by master for real. Even the outside slaves, the women on the outside, whatever. But I'm just saying, it started that whole privilege thing, pretty privilege and light skin and all that kind of stuff, light skin versus dark skin, which still resonates in our communities today. And I found out through other, I talked to other people from other cultures, and other cultures have that same type of shit going on, that prejudice towards certain complexions and all that. So it wasn't even just within us black folks in slavery. It's other cultures that go through that as well. But so I know for us black folks, it started from slavery because of the treatment that the lighter skin got, from during that time. So basically, so she's dealing with that, like I said, and then she turns around and her and Derek, they get together, get pregnant and all that kind of stuff. Now, at first he seemed like a sweet guy, but then, as time went on, he started beating on her and shit like that. But we saw, it gave us a deeper, in-depth look at how Kishana got to that place. And it was just so sad. I mean, that episode 5, oh my gosh, it was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was up late watching it, and I'm like, I know I need to have my ass in the bed, but I'm sitting up here watching it. My eyes was glued to the TV. My mouth was open. I mean, it was like I was in a trance. This was a really good episode. It was really freaking good, okay? And hold on. And then they even hinted at Kishana's father basically fucking on his stepdaughter. You know what I'm saying? They showed how, when they were going to prom or whatever, and wherever they was going, some dance they were all going to, Kishana's sisters or whatever, they were going to some dance, and her father had her, he said, hey, take the picture for us, and he wanted to get in the picture with the girls, whatever, and so he was hugging all up tight on the one sister or whatever, and she looked very uncomfortable, but it showed us that he's been basically fucking on her. And they didn't elaborate on that too much, but they probably should have. You know what I mean? I think that would have been interesting too. But we could tell from that's what was going on in that situation. And like I said, you had this evil stepmother who thought she was better than Kishana's mother because, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, because she got the man or whatever. And the stepmother didn't even want to acknowledge Kishana for real. I mean, just like when she was like, I'm raising 2 daughters. And Kishana had to correct her like, no, you're raising 3 daughters. And she was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so it was a lot going on in that situation. Like I said, she gets with Derek and she thinks he's the Holy Grail. She thinks he's her knight in shining armor and all that, but he turned out to be a fucking nightmare. And sometimes, it can be like that too. What you think is a dream, hell, 10 years down the line can turn out to be your worst fucking nightmare, because he damn sure was her nightmare. And then they showed us, I like the way they did the back in time and in the current time. So they did like my show This Is Us do. This Is Us. And I think that's powerful when shows do that, because it gives you the backstory of a person and it brings you to the now of the person, and you understand the person and the psycho, from a psychological aspect and from a behavioral aspect. Because I'm one to believe that anyway. I'm a firm believer that we as we as adults, we are pretty much a manifestation of our childhood. Like, we are truly a representation of our childhood, the good, the bad, you know what I'm saying, and the indifferent. Like, everything you experience in childhood, the good, the bad, whatever, it really does shape and mold how you proceed in life. And that's why a lot of times I always say, if you want to understand yourself and you want to understand your behaviors, and it don't always have to be bad. I'm saying even you just whatever, you go back to your childhood, and I'm telling you, the answer is usually there. So I like when shows do that, and I think that's why This Is Us was such a powerful show, because it did that. It always took you back to the character's childhood, and it brought us right, to where they are now. So with Kishana, like I said, we saw how she was treated as a young girl, just from being dark, pretty much, because she wasn't ugly, but because she was dark, she was labeled as ugly as well. And, like I said, another that's another thing from slavery, okay? But, because she was dark, she was considered just one that wasn't attractive. She was looked over and all that kind of stuff. And then she had this person who gave her the attention that she was missing, and she thought he was everything. And then he started to resent her because his family turned on him for getting with her because she was black. And then, it just was bad. So, and then we seen her in, like I said, the current state, the current times where, she's now a stripper, and she's, basically dealing with fuck shit from men, you know what I'm saying, trying to get over on her. Like the one dude, I can't even think of his name, but he was the one that was trying to promote her, and he really never wanted to promote Lil Murder with her. He always wanted Mississippi by herself because he thought she was pretty, he wanted to smash. You know what I'm saying? And it just go to show you that nothing in life is, I mean, for real, nothing in life is really free. I mean, you gonna pay for it in some kind of way. And he was trying to make her pay for it sexually, and I didn't like what he did, and, you know what I'm saying, what he tried to do, whatever, and I feel like he got what he deserved. He was a fucking snake, you know? That shit just wasn't cool. I mean, so the storyline, like I said, this is, I don't want to spoil it too much for nobody who hasn't seen it, but it's really good. It's really good. And I see this show taking a different turn, as opposed to, it wasn't what I expected. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting more of that entertainment factor. However, we are still getting entertained, but it's going into a, like I said, it's taking a deeper dive into the lives of these characters, and I appreciate it, and I'm here for it, and I'm really just loving it. I was so enjoying watching it last night. I was like, oh my gosh. You know, then the storyline of Lil Murder and Big Teak. Oh my gosh. You know, that's a story that needs to be told, because here it is. Lil Murder once did time in prison, but he's now a rapper, but he's also a DL rapper. You know, he can't be his true self because of the stigma that comes along with DL, you know, in the black community. And then Big Teak was his prison buddy, whatever. He was they was in prison together, but also, you know, unbeknownst to us viewers, they were also, you know, lovers in prison. You know, that comes out as well. You know, we see, we're introduced to Big Teak from when, you know, they went to go get him they went and got him out of prison. He was getting out of prison. They got him out of prison. They picked him up, and he was going to be Lil Murder's like security guard, whatever. And again, this is a story that needed to be told too, because a lot of people may not talk about this, but you know, a lot of times when people go to prison and they do a lot of hard time like that, you know, they come home and they have mental issues. They have mental health issues, because you got to think, you've been institutionalized, and you've been, you know, you've been in this place for so long, and the outside world is still going on. You know, your kids, if you got kids, they're growing up. People are growing up and moving on. And then in a way, when you do time in prison, I've never done time in prison, but I know people who have, and this is I know of people who have, and I know, you know, females who have dealt with guys that have did prison time. The thing about it is, whatever age you were when you went in prison, that's the age you're gonna come out as. So if you went to prison when you was 15 and you come out in your 30s, I mean, it's a high chance that you may still have the mindset of a 15-year-old, because when you went in, it's like it's arrested development. And I know even in prison, you know, they can go to school and all that. They have ways of still being productive and still being active in prison, but it's not the same as being on the outside, because at the end of the day, you are still institutionalized. And I ain't talking about nobody that do 2 years, 3 years, or a year here, a year there. I'm talking about somebody that went in and did some hardcore time. Hey, thanks so much for listening. That's it for now. To finish listening to the rest of this podcast, go on over to Anchor, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, and any other podcast platform.